Welcome everyone to a special breakfast briefing. I'm Adina David, founder of Ladies in Real Estate, and I'm joined by two great ladies from A.S.K Partners. A little bit about Ladies in Real Estate before I pass over to them for the main event today. I started it back in 2016, for those of you who are maybe less familiar with the group. It's a networking community for women working in real estate across all segments of it. And we started an investment club initiative, which is about educating women who either want to invest themselves in real estate or want to launch maybe an investment management business or a kind of other real estate business. So we're trying to demystify investment concepts. And when I met the ladies at A.S.K, I thought what they're looking to do fits quite well with what LiRE is all about. Again, kind of empowering women to get involved, to learn more and diversify their portfolios, or get into investing in real estate. So I'm very excited to hear well, to see how this morning goes in general, but to hear what you have to say and to get more women into investing in real estate.
A.S.K started in 2016. We were started to provide flexible real estate funding for our borrowers, and our loans were funded by the partners and by family members. But soon we were being approached by close family friends to participate in our deals and help generate a yield for them. We now have over 350 private clients, and that's made up of high net worth individuals, small family offices, and we've got a small handful of institutions that also participate in our deals. It wasn't quite intentional, but we have somehow managed to grow this and sort of create this incredible community amongst our private clients with a wealth of market knowledge and property sector experts. So that kind of gives us the opportunity to tap into that information when reviewing certain opportunities. We carry out extensive due diligence on all of our deals, and a question that is often asked to the analyst when reviewing an opportunity is whether or not they would put their own money into a deal. And if the answer is no, or if there's sort of hesitation, then it's not a deal that we should be doing. A.S.K still invests in every single deal that we do. So we are ultimately underwriting loans that we genuinely believe in and that we want to do. And over the past 7 years, we have formed a really good working relationship with Oak North Bank, who are a PRA regulated UK bank. And 2 years ago, Oak North acquired a 50% stake in A.S.K. So that really sort of cemented our relationship with them, and it strengthened our position in the market, allowing us to look at sort of bigger deals, sort of opportunities, and creating a variety of lending opportunities for our borrowers, but also interesting investment opportunities for our private clients. So what A.S.K gives you is flexibility. You have the opportunity to grow your own property portfolio. You get to sort of pick and choose the deals that you want to do, depending on your risk appetite and available capital. And you get to do this at a time that's convenient for you. Because our offering is via our bespoke platform, you can access that whenever you want to, whenever you need to. As you heard in the short video, we are not a fund. Our model is very much sort of self-select. So you get to pick and choose everything that you want to participate in. We lend across all aspects of property around the UK. We offer a variety of risk-adjusted returns. So you can be looking at anything from between 8 and 15%. Again, depending on your risk appetite, you can pick and choose where you want to sit. Doing this with LiRE just sort of made complete sense for us, because it's sort of an untapped market a little bit for women. So, as women, we're juggling careers, we are juggling family life, and also our own personal goals. What we're doing, we think is an incredibly interesting investment opportunity. I mean, not just for women, but for women, because of the flexibility that it provides, and you get to pick and choose, and it's, you get to do it at a time that's convenient for you. So we think it's really interesting. And as women, I guess we are slightly more risk adverse, and you kind of think of property lending and you think, oh no, that's really scary. But when you actually sort of dig down to it and then sort of understand what we're doing and the due diligence that we do, you actually sort of realize, oh, actually it's not that scary, and I get to decide what I actually want to participate in. The way the market's going at the moment, lending directly into real estate, with the latest announcements from the budget, increases in CGT and stamp duty, sort of direct property investment comes with a lot of headaches and additional taxes. You don't have the ongoing maintenance issues that you would have with direct property investing and dealing with sort of tenants. And the additional costs that sort of go with that. So dealing, with our platform, you're not hit with those additional taxes. So, our model kind of gives you the opportunity to grow your own diversified property portfolio without those headaches and additional taxes. The loans that we do offer, sort of from a term point of view, range between, as you heard, 12 and 36 months. I'd probably say on average a deal is maybe 18 months. But we do appreciate that circumstances do change. So we have established a secondary market, which is accessed via our platform. So if at any point you needed liquidity, you have the option to sell your position in a deal, and that will get placed on our secondary market for other sort of investors to see that opportunity.
When thinking about ESG investing and values, specifically, deciding to invest obviously involves considering lots of different factors. And increasingly for many these days, people want to know how and whether their investments are aligned with their own personal values, as well as looking at things like risk appetite and obviously the return on your investments. ESG investing, where companies are specifically screened for how environmentally friendly they are, how pro-social, and how strong their governance practices are, essentially how sustainable they are overall, is an ever emerging and evolving area, obviously. There was a recent survey in Investopedia and a publication called Tree Hugger, which I like the name of, but also it basically said that over 50% of people would be prepared to take a 10% loss over 5 years in their investments to have the opportunity of investing in a company with exceptionally high ESG standards. On the other hand, 74% also said actually things like valuation and price really, really matter. And a lot of people, don't necessarily want to have to sacrifice returns for doing good. So ESG investing itself is an evolving and emerging area. It's not without its contradictions. But to turn more specifically to ESG and property debt investing and opportunities at A.S.K, it's kind of mind-blowing to kind of take in that UK real estate accounts for 40% of energy use and about a third of UK emissions. This is obviously driving lots of things, and obviously the UK has got its own legal obligation under Paris to reach net zero in 2050, but all of this is driving government policy and regulation, and obliging developers, landlords and occupiers to look at their real estate and to focus on how the real estate is performing environmentally. This is obviously providing also, opportunities to lenders and investors, which are exciting because it's providing opportunities to look at new green assets and developing from scratch. Developers are looking to build assets for the future that have kind of sustainability built in, where people are working much more closely with their local communities in that whole development process, as well as retrofits and refurbishment opportunities where it's a kind of more compliance-led, where buildings are being brought into line with minimum standards for energy efficiency. At A.S.K, we have got great recent loans and borrowers like Hub Residential, which has recently won BTR Residential Developer of the Year. Excuse me. Hub has got really strong ESG kind of credentials and direction. It is building great new assets. It also repurposes old obsolescent office stock into co-living, works very closely with its local communities, and is developing lots of affordable housing. With our partners Oak North, we recently lent to a London-based developer called Vabel, who are involved in a massive regeneration scheme in central London, which will ultimately provide hundreds of new homes and new retail employment. And we have lots of other borrowers at A.S.K where we're actually repurposing or upgrading offices to by that whole refurbishment process where we're actually where carbon is actually not being put back into the environment, but actually we're kind of repurposing buildings into green assets, and lots of examples of that with our borrowers. We are very proud of our association with Oak North Bank. Oak North have been rated by Banks.Green as great in terms of their how they work with the climate. Oak North have also, I think they were one of the first banks to reach to get net zero for their Scope 1 and Scope 2 emissions, and they've set their cap at being net zero for 2035 for Scope 3 emissions, which will include their lending. So all in all, in the race to net zero and the race to decarbonise the built environment, there are huge opportunities in this sector, and we would love to talk to you.